Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to The Next Level. This is my weekly podcast show where I bring you next level things, projects, mods, community members that I believe are absolutely next level. And today's show, I will be talking a little bit about my brand new Time Crisis guns. If you guys saw the actual thumbnail, I have some amazing original modded Time Crisis guns, the Namco ones that are fully compatible with a PC using the Gun4IR technology. I have a guest that actually did the modding for me. He was a previous guest on my show. So we're going to be talking all about these guns, some awesome pedals that I actually put together with this build with the help of Raymond Dye from RPEG Electronics. And so we're going to talk about the pedals. And then also I have another guest who hopefully will be joining us later because he's a little bit of a light gun fanatic. And he's going to be awesome to get his perspective on all the light guns that exist out there, because he has a really awesome collection. So I'm really excited to talk to Alejandro a little bit later on. But wanted to say hello to chat. Good morning, folks, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Bill Wright is here. Robert Bowling is here. He said his Sinden guns ship in a week, 2 recoils, which is awesome. We did some reviews of a Sinden compared to the Gun4IR, and Sindens are a great economical option that has its pros and cons, just like any technology does. So glad you're going to be getting that. Philip is here. Hello, hello. Gibby Gibbertson, House of the Dead would be amazing too. We'll be doing some House of the Dead gameplay. We'll show you some things and show you what's up. So yeah, RPEG Electronics is here. He's saying good day. Shoeshine is here. Says, I finally got your aim track working with your at games about 20 minutes ago. Well, I hope you can definitely have some fun with your light gun build. So wherever you're at, whatever you're using to play your guns, that's what this is about, and showing you some of the possibilities of what we can do with light guns. So what's going on, Rob? Appreciate you being here. But let's bring him on right now just to do an introduction to the guy that made this possible for me. And there was another guy that he can probably talk about the history of Gun4i, JB, who made this all possible. But I want to bring on my guest today, one of my main guests who's been a really good, awesome collaborator, and I'm excited to be getting his gun build as well, Mr. Raymond Dye from RPEG Electronics. What's going on, Ray?
Hey, what's up, B? Nice to see everybody again. Andy, nice to see you. I see a few of my clients here. Nice to see you guys.
Absolutely. Very cool. So for folks that don't know what RPEG Electronics is, do you want to just give folks a mini background on who you are and, you know, not little, you have a YouTube channel that's grown, man. I've seen it. You've been offering some amazing content for people that are interested in light gun mods. So definitely check out Raymond's YouTube channel. But what is RPEG Electronics?
Thanks. RPEG Electronics, I started when I was in college with 3 friends. They've all since moved on to other normal jobs. It was originally a cell phone wholesale business, and then now it's grown to a karaoke and arcade gun business. It's 2 very strange things. So if you go on my website, you'll see both.
Who never knew, right? RPEG Electronics would be karaoke and light guns. So what I was always curious, what does RPEG stand for? Is that something that...
It was the first initials of the 4 people who helped me. Well, 3.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Got it. So that's how it got started. And now it's you holding down the fort, and that's your brand, and that's who you are. And
yep.
So for folks that want to check out samples of Ray's light gun builds, and he's doing a lot of tutorials now. He has an awesome YouTube channel. So tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel, because you've been changing some of your content to originally just showcase your mod, but now you've been showing people how to play games, and even, you know, the taboo question, how to find games and get them set up. But you're doing some really cool, awesome some content now on your channel. Talk about that.
Right. So I've noticed that the light gun games were one of the most difficult ones to set up, even back during aim track, and there was a lot of nuances, which if you were like just a home enthusiast and not a pro user, or not someone who spends hours and hours on forums on emuline.com figuring this stuff out, I was like, wow, this is a very painful setup process. I was like, you know what, screw this. I just went on eBay, bought a Google Drive account, so it's not mine. And yeah, and then I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do all the work for everybody, just so, you know what, I back up my product. So
yeah,
if I'm still not gonna, you know, like team viewer into everybody's computer and do it for you, but I will do it step by step, so you really can just follow the videos. And
yeah, it's good.
I get bugs and I fix them. That's all I do.
I love it. Some of that software configuration can be tedious. I mean, I saw you working on my PC recently right now, and there's a lot of ins and outs of it, but you're breaking it down to a level that I really appreciate, because, you know, that's why people really liked me in the original sense when I was doing my Star Wars mod, is because I took something that seemed impossible and complicated and was bringing it to a simplified place. And I feel like you're doing that with light gun builds, and I still have a ways to go to finish my light gun build right now. It's still on, I'm pointing this way, but it's still attached to my 50-inch TV over here, and I do have plans to eventually make a cab out of it. So I hope to take your guns, make a cab, use the pedals that you put together. But have you seen anybody put together a really awesome Gun4IR like cabinet build, like besides maybe Brad, who already has his Aliens build? What are some other kind of cool clients and things that you've seen using Gun4IR builds?
So Brad has the most like together one, because he's using the Game Room Solutions first generation shooter cabinet. I think he did an Aliens theme, I believe. Yeah. But other clients, they have really nice Extreme Home Arcade cabinets as well. The only issue, the big guys like the Mega Ks. The only issue with that is because the cabinet is so tight and sealed. Putting the LED sensors was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And now Extreme Home Arcades has opened it up where I can send him the sensors, and David there will install them for the customer professionally,
Oh,
like,
nice.
you know, with a nice little cutout and everything. So the customer doesn't have to deal with that headache anymore.
That's cool. Look at you collaborating with some cabinet makers, right? Because we all do little specialties and things. That's cool.
He still hasn't tried his gun yet. I sent him like a month ago. The last one I had, I was like, dude, did you try it? He's like, I've been so busy, but I'm sure it works. I'm like, test it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's start talking about the actual guns themselves, because the last time I did a Gun4IR stream, I was using the Super Jolt guns. So these were PS1 Super Jolts, which were nice at the time for what they were, and they had recoil. You have one right there. That's a Super Jolt. So yes, so looks awesome, feels great, has a pedal too.
Yep.
But then I saw you start showing off that you had the actual real arcade hardware guns, these Time Crisis Namco guns that you're holding right there. I saw you holding up a shiny pink one, and I was like, Ray, how can I get one of those in here? So talk about the, you know, the shells that you're getting, and like this is like, where did this come from? Was this a Time Crisis 2 gun, a 3, 1? Somebody said that you couldn't find TC2 guns, but Kevin says they're all over eBay. But like, where are you getting your guns from to start with? And like, is this a hard mod to do, like using real arcade hardware and Gun4IR?
So the mod is actually not terribly hard. The hard part is finding a gun in good enough condition where it's not cracked, and I don't need to do a bunch of epoxy work, which I hate doing anyway. Painting already is a pain in the ass.
That's right.
Yeah, I still have to go through eBay like everybody else. I do have to find anything. So Time Crisis 2, 3, and Ninja Assault, they all have the same gun.
Okay.
But the oldest ones, like Time Crisis 2 and 3, the bottom piece, that hose that comes out of it, yeah, the Time Crisis 2 and 3 ones, the 2 ones, they are so hard to get out. Like, I'm literally using like a, well, I already took it out of yours, of course, but I had to use like a Dremel cutter to cut through like an inch of steel. I was like, oh crap. So I'm gonna show
like
you.
the big metal part that hangs on the normal dongle, right? Yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just to get this stupid part out, stupid part, it took so much work. On the Time Crisis 3 one, this is easy to get out. On the 2 is impossible.
Nice. So these are Time Crisis 2 guns. Are you reusing the same solenoids that were in their stock as well too?
Correct.
So what are those powered by? Are those 12 volt, 24 volts? 24
very
volts?
Powerful 24 volt solenoids, yes.
Nice, cool. So, and then for this, it's an arcade controller. This one that you did for me, actually you repainted everything. So the condition of them when you get them, they vary. So like, how many of these have you done? And are they all, like, how much real work do you have to do to actually open it up and mod it? I see the rubber, they're kind of like, it's not even standard connect, like bolts in here, right? Like,
they're not.
opening them up.
Yeah, they're special hex screws. So
yeah,
I mean, getting a hex screwdriver is easy. I have to find I had to buy real new nuts, new hex bolts. They have to be cleaned, of course. I spend a couple like an hour cleaning them just to get them nice and polished, and then I sent them over to my friend in Long Island to do painting because he has the space for it.
Yeah.
And after that, then assembly only takes about another 30 minutes to an hour. But I started putting rumble motors in them now. So it adds a little bit more time. You have that in your blue one, so
I do. So the story of me is like, I originally got a Super Jolt, which was blue, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this pink Namco gun so I can have like one blue, one pink, even though they're different. But then as soon as I got this and I felt the heft of it, and the Super Jolt is no joke. It's a really hefty gun. It's a pretty good quality, but it still isn't the same as true arcade quality. So once I held this and was like feeling the actual jolt, so I mean, this is just such a good feeling in your hand. I asked Ray, it's like, do you have more? Can I get another blue one? So I ended up selling my original Super Jolt, and then Ray found this super clean blue one. So this one, that's the reason why I was asking about painting and stuff, because you had to paint this pink one, but this blue one is in immaculate condition. Where did you get this one from? Why is it so clean?
I don't know. I got lucky. That was from, I think that's from a Ninja Assault one or something.
Okay.
No, that's from a Time Crisis 2. But yeah, someone had it, and then
How
they would
clean
win
this
it.
is.
Yeah, that one was near
It's
perfect.
like, it's so clean. Like, there's not even a scratch on it, even the bottom. Like the pink one, you can tell even the front has a little bit of damage on it and like some of the rough edges. But I was so surprised when I got this. I was like, wow, immaculate. So cool.
I
And so
originally
somebody, you
wasn't
just
gonna
found it?
sell it. Yeah, I wasn't. When I see them, I take a risk and I buy them. I wasn't even gonna sell it, but you wanted a his and hers gun. I don't know if that qualifies as an actual gift for your wife, but
She's still yet to be excited about them, but you know, pink and blue guns are fun. But now I have the matching ones because originally my theme cabinet that I really want to play, somebody had mentioned it, is point blank, and so I really wanted these types of blue guns. But the original colors of the Time Crisis guns, so were they pink and blue like this, or were they different colors? They were these exact colors.
Yep.
They were the same pink and blue guns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So these are not like atypical colors that you had to change anything. Do they come in any other colors, like the black one that you have? Is this either pink, blue, or black?
Mine is painted. I did this with a Rust-Oleum satin finish paint, but the black one is a fake. So if you see a black one in the wild, you can identify it by on the bottom. There's one screw here, right?
Okay.
The fake has two, and the fake has a rumble motor built in. So
got it.
That was a Hong Kong fake.
So pink or blue guns are what you're looking for. But talk about the rumble modal and the fisheye lens. So these are two new mods that you did. So they're slightly different, and these were slightly different costs too. So talk about the parts for the mod that you did for folks that know about the fisheye option and then the rumble pack, because now this one actually is shaking in addition to actually clicking. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's rumbling. Yeah. So talk about rumble modal and fisheye.
So the rumble motor is using pretty much the same standard as an Xbox right side rumble motor, so that when you reload, you can feel a feedback. When you shoot, it recoils, but when you reload it, it rumbles. And on other guns that are too small to have a recoil, you can actually make rumble the full feedback. So when you shoot, it rumbles. When you reload, it rumbles. That's a fun mod. I pay one guy very well to do rumble circuits for me, so I can save myself some work.
Nice.
Yeah, and the fisheye lens, the fisheye itself is not expensive, but I actually managed to find a way to flush fit it now without using any 3D printed adapters or any extra work. So it looks nice and clean. So even mine now has a fisheye lens and a rumble motor as well.
Yeah, and so what does the fisheye lens do? I know that it just makes the lens wider so it can see the sensors more. So does that just gives you additional range compared to
the fisheye lens actually zooms out, not in. So that means that if you have a big ass screen, the fisheye lens will pull out for you, and you can calibrate and see all 4 LEDs more easily. So the only difference is you have to turn the sensitivity higher, because logically, if you get further away from something, it's less bright.
Right, I see. That's why I still need to get your purple LEDs, right? So I need to change it higher.
I sent them to you.
Did you? Did you mail me additional ones?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I probably have them here. It's just I have a million projects, you can tell. Yeah. I've been a little preoccupied with pinball, for folks that don't know. I have my Legends pinball mod behind me. I have my real Star Wars pinball here. And so I've just been pinball crazy, but I've been wanting to just dive into my LightGun mod so much. And like doing this show really kind of pushes me to really get it, because I've had these toys for a long time, and I call them toys because they're expensive toys. Like Raymond has been like a good collaborator, but I'm like a customer. I'm a client. I'm a full paying client. I paid a lot of money for these guns and things, and I feel like I need to be playing with them because I spent so much money on them. Yeah. So talk about the cost for these. What's the typical cost for the real arcade gun mod for folks that are here looking? Gibby Gibbertson says he wishes he can get these in Canada because of the cost, but there's some people that make their own, like Arcade Pirate. What's going on, Arcade Pirate? I invited him to the stream, but he couldn't make it. But some people can build their own, but if not, you are modding them for people. So what is the cost of one of these? You're going to be able to share it with the world, what I paid for these.
So the market price is usually a human liver. You know, when you sell your organs on the black market, that's how much you can get one gun.
I know, right?
Yeah. So these actually go for 600 each, and up, depending on what mod how much extra I do for them. I did a little bit special for you just because you bought so much from me already. Yeah. But yeah, the minimum price for these is 600. If you go to like a Time Crisis 4, which is extremely rare to find in the wild, they go to like 800. Because the Time Crisis 4 gun, if you get them in good condition, is extremely expensive. To get them brand new.
What's the difference between the Time Crisis 4 guns?
The Time Crisis 4 is almost the same, but it's a slimmer one. It's a little bit slimmer feel, and it's a more modern looking one. But essentially, it's the same thing. And if you go on like NamcoBetson.com, they're like $900 or $14,004 for a brand new Time Crisis 4 assembly. They're ridiculously expensive.
Got it. Okay. So that makes sense. And I'm like, you don't know what you don't know, right? Because it's been a while since I've been to the arcade actually playing the different types of light guns. But yeah, so these were, do you know like which ones they were originally? These are TC3s or?
TC3s, yeah.
TC3s for the most part? Cool. The other cool accessory that I've been getting, because when you're playing Time Crisis, not only do you need the guns, you need the pedals to go with them. So when I saw that Raymond was also offering a mod of the pedals to become keyboards, essentially. I asked Ray, can I get a set of these? And then you're going to see my toes because I'm going to try to hide them. But here are the Time Crisis pedals. So these are actual real Time Crisis pedals too that you actually modded. So talk about these pedals as well, if you can.
Yeah, you probably got the last two I'll ever make because after I started doing these, like,
okay.
all of a sudden they're all gone from eBay.
Oh yeah.
After I did the first post of me making these white ones, but basically these are Time Crisis.
You can see my feet.
3 or 4 pedals, right? And they're the same actually. And what I did was I had a friend of mine, Jarek Linga. He does car work usually, car rims. He sandblasted and then powder coated them for me with real automotive hardcore powder coating. So it's nice. It's all brand new, glossy looking. Inside, I installed a keyboard encoder. But lately, on my new pedals, I have been doing the Gun4IR Arduino, so that they're now reprogrammable pedals.
Oh, nice. Very cool. So, I mean, these are heavy duty. I mean, they're real legit hardware, arcade hardware. And so you're seeing my toes because it's down here. But you can see these, like when I got these, I was so impressed with like how heavy they were. Actually, I was scared because I was picking up the box and I was like, oh my goodness. My wife was like, what the heck is in this box? So those guns, the guns were $600 each. How much were the pedals running for
400.
400. So like again, so you can tell I've spent almost $2,000 with Raymond just on my guns and my pedals. Sorry, Mrs. Kongzaros, if you're watching this later, but it's a lot of investment. But the reason why I invested and felt like this was a good value for me was, Ray was offering a service that many people could do on their own, but he brings the quality of the parts. I think that's the biggest thing for you. Even though your prices are premium, there's just a nice quality that comes with your service. So for anybody that's asking and like, why is it so expensive? Like, what would you say to folks that say either these pedals or your guns are just too expensive? Do you want to just address kind of your pricing model?
I've been in business for about 10 years in all types of industries, everything from T-Mobile to luxury Bloomingdale sales. And I'll tell you, you get what you pay for. Basically, if if you're paying the premium price, you get the premium service. You have questions, you call me, it gets fixed. If there's an upgrade down the line, I upgrade it for you for free usually. I have done repairs on or upgraded wiring on my first gen clients because you and Brad and Alejandro are my first gen clients really. And Brad just sent me his jolts for a new upgrade. I put in fish eyes for him, I rewired for him. Yeah, so I do all the follow-up work and you get access to the good stuff basically.
You do. You get premium Ray service, and he's been really good at that too. And Eric is saying, buy your Time Crisis guns now because they'll be gone after this stream. So tell me, I guess for reals, honestly, when we did the first couple of streams together, especially with Retro Ralph, did you see business, booming a little bit from all the kind of different advertising that the content creators are doing for you?
Yeah, between you, Ralph, and Brad, like I got like so many calls, and I was like, okay, time to scale this shit. And so, I started hiring, real Chinese labor and everything. I put my friend from high school to work.
Nice, very good.
So
well, cool.
I actually pay a lot of labor fees and for my mods just to do my LED, just the LEDs alone. I pay about like $30 an hour.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's good. I'm glad you're able to scale up. And I say that because, again, it just goes into all of us are in this hobby for, because we like it. We like the work, right? You wouldn't be doing it if it was just purely, just for your business. But you enjoy this too, right? At some level, you're a hobbyist and you put this together. So I'm glad that you were able to blow up a little bit more. And some people were saying the pedal demand was crazy. Somebody says that they did a pedal mod. They got lucky on eBay for a cleaned up one. They painted it, followed Ray's guys to do it. You kick ass, Ray. So you got some clients here.
Kevin is my first Time Crisis 4 client.
Oh, very cool.
He has my red Time Crisis 4 gun.
Bill, you're right. You probably can do any type of pedal, whether it's a guitar pedal or anything else. So like you don't have to use these high-end Time Crisis pedals. But I was just like, if I was already going to buy the real guns, I want the real pedals to be stepping on this when I'm playing Time Crisis. I'm sorry, you can see my toes. I probably should have put on some sandals or something, but they really kind of complete that entire look. So I'm really excited about that. But I want to actually bring on another guest who is one of the ones that I feel like is one of the biggest LightGun fanatics in the retro arcade community. And I don't know if you've ever met him or talked to him on stream before, but he's been hanging out backstage. He just got here. It's Mr. Alejandro Cuevas. So what's going on, Alejandro?
Hey, Alejandro.
Yeah, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the next level. You've been here in the chat before, but I've reached out to you a few times. So, how you doing, man?
Good, good.
Good. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are, like in terms of just being a community member and a LightGun fan. I just already have said you're the biggest LightGun fan, but is that true? Would you consider yourself a LightGun fanatic?
Well, I don't know if I'm the biggest one, but I'm sure a very, very big fanatic of light guns. I really like light guns and the stuff that you talked about, new peripherals such as like racing wheels, anything that's new in the arcades.
Yeah.
That's different from like just joysticks and buttons. That's the stuff that I'm into. So like the mods that you did for the Star Wars yoke,
Yeah.
I was super into that stuff too.
All right, so you guys ready to get your minds blown? Okay, so here is Alejandro's collection that he just sent to me. So tell me in chat what you guys think of this. Ready? Bada boom. He sent me this picture and I was like, holy crap. So you gotta tell us, walk us through what we're looking at here. What is all this?
So where do I start?
Are all these actually modded as light guns, or are these mostly shells?
No. So,
okay.
Essentially, I have two aim track guns, two Sindens, two Gun4IRs. I actually have three because the two are the Super Jolt ones, and for the Gun4IR, and then I had another Super Jolt modded for an aim track. But anyways, a lot of these other ones are just kind of shells. They're peripheral shells for the controllers on a Wii controller or the PS3 Move controller and stuff like that.
Got it.
And then some other ones like they're not in this picture, but there's another. I don't know if I sent it to you, but they're the Uzis. I don't know if you remember Brad sharing a video of the Uzis.
Oh, that's the PS2 Uzi. Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah. So the PS2, I use those on like a CRT TV.
Is it in here somewhere?
It possibly might be.
I just had Alejandro send me pictures of stuff, so I mean that's just pretty much his gun builds that he has so far. But if it's not there, but I mean, not only are you doing these types of guns, the shells and stuff, but you've also started digging into these analog positional guns too. So is this a cart that is going to become your overarching gun cart? Like, talk about this right here.
Yeah, so it's not really a cart because I didn't add wheels to the bottom to it or anything.
Okay.
It's more like a
pedestal.
Like a pedestal
yeah.
where you kind of like a barrier. Like think of like being in the army. You're at war. You're behind some barrier, and that's kind of like the style that I wanted to make it.
Nice.
So the two people can stand very comfortably on that. And kind of feel like you're behind some barrier shooting at stuff, whether it be aliens, zombies, or people, or whatever the case may be.
So that's designed for you to actually stand on that platform in the bottom too?
Yep.
Like down this area? Oh, okay, cool. How far are you along with this? Is this still currently what it looks like, or are these old progress pics?
That's kind of a little bit of an old progress. It's progress just a little bit more than that. But I'm working on another pedestal with the black ones with the USB connection type of aliens guns. And that one, I'm gonna put like some graphics. Like I'm really into the zombie raid graphic style, like the way it looks, the cabinet art on it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get some of that around that pedestal.
Nice. And is this just your own simple pedestal design? Did you like use any pre-existing kits, or did you just kind of put this together?
That's out of one sheet MDF wood.
Okay. Nice.
Right there.
Very cool.
And I just created it from scratch. Like I didn't have a specific thing in mind. I kind of just thought about, hey, I'm going to do it like this. And then that curve right there, that circle.
Yeah.
All I did was I got a cable, like just any power cable, and I looped it and I just penciled it out, and then I matched it to the other side. So it's not like anything special or specific.
I thought you just grabbed a giant hula hoop and just like marked it out. Little.
Oh, that's actually easier.
Yeah.
You know, it could be, you could use whatever. I mean, I just love the creativity here. And again, it's just a simple pedestal build, but I can't wait to see what this, I actually have the black guns too that I'm working on myself. So this is always good inspiration to just hear and see. But when you sent me this first picture of, you know, your entire gun build, I was just like, wow, that's a great amount.
What is that white and red one on the bottom? I'm curious on those two.
These ones down here?
Yeah.
The shotguns?
Yeah, what are those?
So those are shotgun shells that are actually pump action for the Wii remotes. So
damn,
on that pedestal, if you go back to that picture with the TV and that pedestal.
This one here? Oh, the ones on the side? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys remember Retro Ralph's video that I'm the one that sent him that red and blue machine guns right there, which houses that 3-in-1 kit.
That's what Brad was saying. He says, yours are the ones that you sent to Ralph, right?
Yeah. So,
Alejandro's a secret light gun fan that everybody, you know, behind the scenes is getting everybody into those guns. So you're probably responsible for a lot of sales if you didn't know from your hobby and your passion.
And so that right there houses a real PS3 as well for the
nice.
Wii, and then it houses a real Wii so that I can play a whole bunch of light games, whether it be emulation or real consoles or anything like that. And then the extra, you know, 3-in-1 console thing right there with the, I really like them because of the recoil that they have on those.
Yeah, awesome. Well, cool. These are the Uzis that you're talking about, right?
There you go. Those are the Uzis that I was talking about, and those work on the CRT TVs. And
nice.
I play all the PS1 and PS2 games on that.
Look at you.
And those are awesome because of the dip switches or not dip switches, but like the selection on the buttons. You could make it automatic, you could make it semi-auto or single fire shot. They're pretty cool. I really like them.
Nice. Well, cool. Do you have a favorite out of all of these? I mean, you have so many. You have to have some preference between like which ones you like to use in terms of a light gun. Do you have? Is it the Gun4IRs? Is it the Sindens? Is it something else?
Well, the Gun4IR are very, very accurate. They're some of the best ones I've tried, man. They're very, very good. That black one right there with the coil on it, that's a real Namco mod.
This one right here?
Yep, that one right there. That's one that Ray did for me, and that one I really like it. The only thing that is kind of hard on it doesn't have extra buttons.
Yeah.
So you either have to use like
a keyboard or an encoder or something else.
Yeah. So like you can have like maybe some pedals that have like 3 different steps you can press, or you know, extra buttons somewhere off the side, and then you have to map all that stuff.
This gun actually is the exact one that I saw Ray have for sale. And then I was like, Ray, do you have any more of these? And he's like, Alejandro just bought it. And I was like, Alejandro, why did you steal the gun? And then eventually he was like, I can get more. And then I was like, sweet, thank God. Because I just saw it and I was like, oh my goodness, this just looks fantastic. But yeah, you're right. I think that is probably like one of the few downsides of the actual the real guns is that there's the limited number of buttons that you could need for emulation. But take it from Alejandro. I mean, somebody who does this much mods, not mods, but just if you're like a fanatic, you have to have preference. So like to have your endorsement of Gun4IRs between everything else, it says a lot. So I think that's a really good endorsement for you, Ray. Anything you want to ask Alejandro, seeing all the gun builds and things that he has?
No, I'm good. I just wanted to see what the whole question. But to say, yeah, some people have added buttons, but I was like, to ruin like a vintage, you know, Time Crisis one by drilling a hole here. Yeah. I was kind of iffy, but I bought like so many buttons, and I still couldn't bring myself to drill into it yet.
All right, so this is a question for Ray. Eric says, what's the best gun to mod for recoil kickback? Is it really the Time Crisis gun, or would you recommend something else like the Super Jolt or something else that has recoil?
If you want the best like recoil feel, nothing beats the Time Crisis gun so far. But if you want like more versatility, like Alejandro said, if you want the back buttons to reload and side button and everything, then yeah, it's gonna be the Super Jolt. That's the only one that has the kickback plus all the buttons that you'll need. You know, you have your extra buttons here, and then your back button, and it does the reload. It's not as strong as the Namco, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, from an emulation device, I like the Super Jolt is probably actually more effective since it has all those things, and it's actually almost as heavy. I was surprised how heavy the Super Jolt was, but yeah, it's a really hefty gun.
Oh, I added weights to it. That's why I added.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I was wondering why it was so heavy. I was like,
I added 2 ounces of lead weights.
Oh man, I was like, oh, it's gonna be heavy holding it up. Kevin Thorne's asking about a Terminator 2 Arcade Gun4IR mod, but for Terminator 2, you morally would be using those positional guns more than a Gun4IR, right? But you have a Gun4IR that can play T2 on your build, right? So
yes, he does.
Do you enjoy playing T2 using light guns, or do you prefer using the positional guns, Alejandro?
Man, I really like the positional guns. There's certain games that just feel that much more better whenever you're moving it with the those potentiometers for the positional guns.
Yeah.
And plus too, there are times where you think it's gonna be really cool. I have this gun and it's recoiling and it's like a handgun. It's kind of like an automatic recoil on it. And you're holding it up for a long time and your arm gets tired.
That's true. Like, especially for a game like that where you just have to be consistently shooting and not like going up and down. So that definitely makes sense. And it's part of that our real arcade experience. So knowing exactly what you just said, part of my stream I wanted to get to was, talking about the possibility of Time Crisis Arcade. But since we're talking about T2, what were your thoughts when you saw this for the first time and knowing that these could potentially be light guns you would pick up and not something that would be positional guns? Did you have any thoughts about this? I'm curious from both of the light gun gurus that I have on stream here, what you guys think of these potential light guns for T2. Any thoughts?
I mean, I think it looks pretty nice. Like the artwork was done very well. It's just so small. It's really, I think it's like an 18-inch screen or a 19-inch screen, right?
It's a 17-inch screen. That's that's the standard Arcade1Up. It's 17 inches, but I mean the guns themselves were the biggest concern for me, not being positional, because they look like you would pick them up and shoot them. So
I think so.
I mean, Alejandro, any thoughts from these when you saw them and any reactions? I'm gonna call you gun prince. If Brad is the gun king, like I think you definitely deserve some gun royalty naming, so you can be gun prince.
So whenever I first saw that, I started seeing different YouTubers with the videos and stuff, and everybody was wondering, are they positional guns or are they the type that you pick up and you shoot like the Sindens technology? And right away, the distance that it had to the cabinet, I knew for sure they're like the Sindens technology. Yeah. There's no way those are the positional guns that you're moving and rotating, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I agree with Ray on the screen size. It's really, really small. But whenever you're using, if it, I don't think there would be so much of an issue if it was a positional gun. I think where the issue is whenever you're picking up the gun and you're going away from the cabinet, because sometimes that Sindens technology or whatever type of peripheral you're using, you're kind of required to be back a certain
distance,
amount of space of distance, which makes the screen size look even smaller than what if you were right next to it. And so one of the things that right away came to mind, I don't know if you guys remember the what is it called, the projectorcade that Arcade1Up came up with. Yeah. And one of the things that popped into my head is a mod with
making that a pedestal.
Yeah, so that projectorcade, I don't know if you guys saw, but they said you can change out it's swappable control panels. So you can put different Arcade1Up control decks on it. So my thing was, I think the best mod for that to be, really, really cool for that Terminator 2 is placing that on the projector. You have a way, way bigger real estate so that you can actually move around the guns and shoot, much better than a small little tiny screen.
There's so many questions still on the T2 cab, right? Whether it is using Sindens tech, whether it's using something else. I think even though the projector cable would sound nice, I think there probably would be challenges with the border still, right? Being able to recognize it at that level if it's using Sindens. I don't know if Sindens would ever work with the projector. So yeah, do you know? Have you tested Sindens with the projector? Does it work still? If you have,
it works.
It does work. Nice.
Yeah. So
that I didn't know.
It's just a display.
Okay.
But you gotta have the proper lighting.
Yeah, because
As
it
long
has to be
as
still really bright for it to be seen, as
yeah,
long as it can recognize the border. That's true. Interesting.
yeah. So
Good.
you want to turn off the lights whenever you play it with the projector, obviously.
Nice. Projector Arcade mod could be done. All right. So what do you guys think about knowing the quality of the guns that Ray does, like, and seeing the potential that this would happen? Do you guys ever see a Time Crisis Arcade1Up cap coming out? And if they did, what could we expect from the quality of the guns and or the pedals? Because you're gonna need to include pedals in a Time Crisis cap, right? And my toes, let me move them over here. What did you guys think a Time Crisis cap would look like now that you guys have seen some of the real stuff? Ray, any thoughts on that if they ever developed one?
I have seen like a pedal that was half the size of the Time Crisis one, like a
Mhm.
baby pedal. I
Mhm.
could see Arcade1Up doing something like that, so it's scaled to size with the cabinet.
Mhm.
But as for the gun, I mean, the fun part of the Time Crisis gun was that it recoiled, and then without the recoil, because Sindens doesn't have moving
A moving recoil, right? It's
Yeah,
just a solenoid inside.
yeah, that costs a lot more. Like if you were to buy the authentic solenoid, it would cost like $120 just by itself already.
Yeah.
So, and then as for the shell quality, like this is high grade impact plastic. It's a lot thicker than even like the joke gun. You can hold it and you can feel immediately. It's not the same.
Yeah. Even the quality of the guns for the big buck hunter, which I had, were very cheap. It felt like, even itself, like the quality of the plastic just wouldn't compare to like an arcade quality gun. But curious, Alejandro, do you have any thoughts if you saw Arcade1Up come up with a pedal and a gun for Time Crisis? Any thoughts on what it might look like or what you would expect?
Well, I think the expectation, everybody has to set their bars kind of low because obviously they're going to want to manufacture it with production costs and stuff. They're not going to want to put like real metal into the pedals, just like those real Time Crisis pedals. So they're going to be a lot more plasticky feel, kind of like the
joke gun pedals probably.
Yeah.
probably. They might be even similar style in the pedal, like the one that they used for the racing cab, that Outrun one. They already did something like that, but I'm sure it's not gonna have like that spring type of thing, but it's gonna be kind of like a click.
Yeah, there it is.
This would be probably what I would expect. Like this,
Yeah.
maybe cost like less than $20 at retail, but yeah.
Yeah. Something they can put out there, something they can have. They'd have to have two of them, right? Because if Time Crisis 1 was one player. No, it was two players, right? Two? Okay.
Well, but it was two screens though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the Time Crisis were two separate screens, two separate players, so that might be kind of hard to do.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. So
it was called a link play game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Brad says prepare to be disappointed, but who knows, right? Who knows what's going on? Kim Sama says, your guess is that the gun and the pedal will be cheap plastic with the Arcade1Up. That's our guess too. I mean, who knows what they would be. Skylar says that he ordered Sindens when you were young because they take so long to get there. Alejandro, when you got your Sindens, how long did it take for you to get them? Did you get them recently?
Man, I just got them recently. I got them like, I want to say 3 weeks ago, maybe a month at the most.
Yeah. Any first thoughts when you were getting them? Like, were they what you expected? You've probably seen a lot of reviews already, but just kind of curious about your thoughts on the Sindens once you got them.
Well, before they were like obviously a gun that I really, really wanted because I wanted that accuracy, the accuracy of like moving a mouse as quickly as possible with, the movement of your gun and not making it seem like you're dragging a cursor. Wherever you're pointing, that's where your shot is going to be.
Yeah.
But I haven't messed with it as much due to, I get one is I've seen some of the reviews on, videos and stuff like that. And two, obviously, we're not little kids anymore. We're like grown adults with full-time jobs and stuff like that. So sometimes it's hard to have the time to put into all this, experimentation with all these things. So sometimes I don't get the opportunity, but based off of what I've experienced is they seem pretty cool, but they are a little bit more of a mess to get them up
Configure.
and
Yeah, the configuration is still probably the biggest thing. That once you get it, it's good, but it took me a while to get there. It wasn't as plug and play. Even without the calibration of Gun4IR, I did it recently just to finally get Gun4IR calibrated, and I was still blown away with it. But that's a pretty fair assessment. But Kim Sam is saying that Time Crisis is one player, so I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe that would be hard.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, but if they were having a cab with just one game though, that would be disappointing, right? You would expect a Time Crisis cab to have the multiple versions, but if you can't do the link play, that would be a hard thing to do. They might have to, have other LightGun games that aren't Time Crisis if they can't do the link play. So that would be the interesting thing about it. Or it could be a one-player cabinet, and it's just like only one-player stuff. So, I don't know if they actually did that. If they made a one-player cabinet only where they built in the pedal and it was just one player, I don't know. I think I would still be into it if it was good enough. How do you feel about that? Like, do you think a one-player only gun cabinet would be blasphemy, or do you always want to have two players?
I think people would be into that. Like, there are a lot of lonely people that want to play. I mean, it is what it is here.
Because you think the 17-inch screen with like two players, right? There's just not a lot of
There's no way.
Yeah,
that's too small.
But if it's one player, it's like enough space, right? So.
Yeah, one is okay.
If they come up with a Time Crisis cabinet and they make it one player, they got to make it linkable with the second cabinet to have the second person have their own screen.
Oh, there you go. That would
yeah.
be something where you'd have to buy two cabinets and you can do link play. That would be like a first, because people were thinking about you could do that eventually with Outrun. That was like the whole thing. Like maybe you can link them up. You can have dual racing cabs. But I could see people buying multiple Time Crisis cabs if you could link the later ones together. That would be a really cool feature if they build that in.
And it's more sales for Arcade1Up.
Yeah.
To get two. Everybody's going to want to have the pair. Exactly.
Super smart design. I dig it. If that's something that's in the work and that's in their plans, you will get credit once they release that, Alejandro. I'm just kidding. So, it's all there. So one-up screens are too small for a shooting cab. That's true. I mean, I'm actually, even right now, I'm broadcasting on my 27-inch big buck monitor that I just plugged the PC into. So it is very small for doing a single player screen, but they are getting expensive. That's the other thing. So I'm with new technology and new gun hardware, right? We can expect cap prices to, I hope, not be this high, Kamla, but you never know what it is. But I know Kuma Rev was here earlier. He was hoping to see some of these guns in action. I wanted to show off a little bit of Raymond's light gun build. So I'm going to put your light gun build on the screen right now, Raymond, and if you want to just talk a little bit about what the latest you've been doing with your build. So give me a second and I'm going to get it set up. All right, so let me turn on my, there it is. What happened to my keyboard? My
keyboard? You dropped it earlier. So.
I did drop it. Okay, there it goes. It's working now. Okay, no. All right. Let's load up your LaunchBox build and then do a screen share.
Oh, I can actually screen share my own too. I have it here as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Let me see. Okay, first off, let me close up all these extra screens, and then. Okay, so I believe I can share screen, window, LaunchBox.
So B, I got a question for you.
All right, go ahead.
So you got those Black Aliens USB guns as well, right?
I do.
Have you tried them already? Like, you like them? What's your thoughts on them?
I did. I've tested them like slightly just to see how they work, but I've only did an initial test. Like, they were actually even a little bit smaller than I thought they would be, but they feel really good in hand. I really enjoy them. And so I recently went to AliExpress where I got them from, and I bought the Aliens shell to like have the mount onto something else. So they sold just the mount part for like $100, and I was like, instead of just mounting it to a pedestal, I was like, oh, I'm gonna build something off of that. So once I get it, I hope to do more with it for sure. But yeah, that's the next thing, whether or not I do a positional pedestal plus the light guns in it. I kind of like having my 50-inch screen, but I just don't know where I'm going to do it yet. Plus I have the plans to do a point blank cab. But yeah, I'll update the team once I get that going. But this is Ray's LaunchBox build. So talk about your LaunchBox build.
Okay, so this is actually, well, I blame Alejandro for this because he's the one that challenged me to make this damn thing.
Yeah.
And I still haven't completed everything that he wanted in it, but
Blame Alejandro.
Yeah, so this is the build that I did. Right now it has 176 games. It was 180 something, but I removed PS1 until I can get that modular because that one writes to registry. But mine is a little bit special, so everything, I did some tricks here. Everything actually runs from the root of the drive, meaning that it's no longer drive letter dependent. You can plug it into any PC and it'll work basically. And even for Techno Parrot, so I've arranged like all the high definition games like Aliens Extermination, Banzai, these Japanese Block King ball shooters, balls. Yeah, House of the Dead 3, 4, all of these are pre-configured for Gun4IR. They are completely portable and they launch with scripts. So everything here also works with your pedals. So if you got pedals from me, they typically use the L and R. Okay, everything has a Time Crisis script. Sorry, not Time Crisis. Has a auto hotkey script running. So the reload will be both the gun reload and the pedal reload. And it's all universally mapped so that number, the coin button's 5 and keyboard button 5 and the keyboard button 1 is coin and start. That's it. Nice and simple. I just did and then when you get this from me, this is for my guests only, my clients only, of course. But I can team viewer in and help you do the setup. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna stop this screen. I'm gonna share my screen. Yes.
That's a really badass build. It's exactly what I wanted.
Yes. So
that's why I told Ray, hey bro, can you build this for me, man? Like I want as many LightGun games on here as possible.
Okay, so here's the
help
build.
Others out.
Here's the build right here. Okay, this is the RAR. Ignore that.
Do I need to add it back in? All right.
Yes, please.
All right, there it is.
Okay, so here it is. So it's so simple. Your Gun4IR GUI is right here. Your HD games are all placed here properly, and it has a very simple README saying, hey, turn off your antivirus. Here's how to set up House of Dead 3. I have this all on video too, but here's the text version of it. It's not that hard. It took me about 15 minutes to set up Bs for him. That's about it. Everything's modular, and of course all the drivers are even installed for you. So I don't get the excuse, oh, I don't have DirectX, I don't have Windows C++. Or here, it's all here. That's it. Team viewers here, Notepad++ is here. So yeah, every single game will run as long as you follow the instructions and install everything. That's pretty much all there is to it.
All right, you guys want to see some demo? All right, so we're going to remove this. We're going to throw up some House of the Dead 3, and it's just demo kind of this going on so you guys can see what's happening. So, all right, that's House of the Dead 3.
This is a PC version, right?
Correct. This is
with
the
HD
PC version.
upscaling.
HD upscaling. What does that mean? Okay, so
it's widescreen. It's widescreen with 1080p. Normally it's not. Normally it's like standard definition.
So I can do player 1 and player 2, right?
Yes.
Do I
this
just
one can actually go 4K too.
Okay. How do I start player 2? Do I press 2 player?
Press 2 on the keyboard.
Oh, I'm pressing 2. It's not going.
Oh, did you launch this from the script or did you launch the...
I launched it from your big box build, from LaunchBox build.
I think you didn't launch the script. That's why.
Oh, do I have to do something else besides launching it directly from big box? LaunchBox?
You should be able to launch it from big box, but yeah, okay,
I'm working. Yeah, it's working, but I wanted to get like my player 2 started too.
Pressing the number 2 on your keyboard doesn't start?
No.
Wouldn't it have anything to do with the device ID?
No.
They can get changed.
No. I use demo shoot on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if this player 1 is working, that's correct. It's either that or he's not running it. It didn't call the script.
This is fun. All right. Anyways, if I go back here and exit.
Yeah, maybe try running it from the script. Maybe it launches differently through.
No, it shouldn't. But you can just go to games.
Let me point this down. This is the other thing when you're using your mouse. You got to point your mouse down, right?
Yeah.
Can I just launch it? I can't just launch it directly from here?
Yeah, you can go to
Just here?
Yeah, actually, right-click that from you first. Just right-click.
Right-click.
Edit.
Edit. This is problem when I'm using a little tiny keyboard. Right click, edit. Oh, what am
I
I
have a
looking for?
keyboard just like that one.
Yeah, I hate those things.
I know.
I actually like them.
Press escape.
Yeah,
Just press
there-
escape once. You might not close the script.
Yeah. All right.
So, what's your favorite light gun game, Kong?
Me, I still love me some Point Blank. It's just one of those really fun, simple games that I really enjoy. But yeah, I need that. I needed that. It was like my goal.
Just try to go to play then. What is going on with your mouse?
I have no idea.
Is the gun pointed at the screen or something?
No, I'm pointing them a different direction right now. But let me just see if I can launch it. What happens? Okay.
What about you, Ray? What's your favorite light gun game?
Mad Bullets.
Mad Bullets. What is
Yeah,
that?
That's a newer light gun game, right?
Yeah.
You know what year kind of it came out on?
Hmm?
Do you know around what year it came out in?
Not 100% sure, but it's a Steam game.
There it goes.
There you go. All right, there you go. Yeah.
Thousands.
All right. You guys ready for this? You ready for the clack clack? We got some 2-player House of the Dead 3. It's kind of fun. I know they're not going to use the pedals for anything, but so for these, using the Arduino, if you hold it down, I mean, it's not going to do anything in the game, right? But the recoil function, that's just like a fun thing to have for certain games where you can hold it down, right?
There we go.
I got to switch it because my this one is the player one. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Double fisting guns is always fun. So, do you ever play like this, Ray? Like when you're testing out guns?
No, I have my wife do that for me. I let her play with the rifles and stuff on the player too.
Alejandro, how about you? Do you ever just kind of go to town and just like,
Yeah, sometimes I do.
This is actually a pretty fun game to play with 2 guns, just like for kicks. If you're not like playing seriously and you just have infinite lives, I would do this. This is actually pretty cool. Yeah, and then for me, one of the sensors is just a little bit off on the wide lens because I don't have the high powered one, so I need to update that and calibrate that. But otherwise, this is really good. Oh, these guns feel so good, Ray. I mean, having you guys on is really just an excuse for me to play these because I haven't. Like I said, I spent $2,000 on guns and pedals, and I'm just looking for an excuse to get this set up and play. But yeah, I'm having so much fun with this. Any tips and tricks in terms of installing these into your actual pedestal, Ray or Alejandro?
For a pedestal or cabinet. For cabinet, you have to take out the monitor. There's no way around it, unfortunately. And for your blue gun, because you have the fisheye lens, just change the sensitivity to custom high. That's all, and you don't even need new LEDs.
Oh, that's all I gotta do?
Yeah.
Oh, in the GUI?
Yeah, in the GUI, just change it to custom high, and then press upload settings, and then calibrate, because obviously, like I said, it zooms out, so the light is lower. Yeah, that's all. But then you have a nice, strong, like stable light. That's it. But now we have a new black LEDs I'll be using for my new build. That's even stronger. So those are coming in too. I just ordered 1,000 of them.
Nice, gun fu. All right, well, we've already been talking for almost an hour, and this was just a fun demo to kind of continue talking about these guns, showing off the build, having fun talking to you two. Any last things you want to mention, Alejandro, for folks that are into light guns? Any recommendations, things you wanted to mention?
No, I mean, the only thing that I really want to get working is the Aliens black gun. It has the recoil function, but it only works on like the 2 global VR games, which is the Aliens Extermination and the Far Cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually want to get those working on every single game. So that's my goal at the moment, is trying to functionally get those operating on any light gun game. But so far I have been unsuccessful.
I see. Got it. How about you, Ray? Any final thoughts and things you want to mention?
I'll just show you guys some cool stuff. Stuff that's like super limited. If you thought the Time Crisis guy was limited, wait till you see some other stuff.
All right, show us the goodies.
This is called a Hori Beretta.
Ooh, skinny.
This is a real 1-to-1 scale, 1-to-1 weight scale of a real Beretta gun. This is made out of metal, by the way. You thought plastic. This is metal. Okay, so this has the buttons. This has the reload and the middle button, right here.
So what is this? Where did you get this from? Is it
Japan.
custom?
No,
Is
this
it
is from Japan exclusive. You can't buy this in the U.S. If
Oh
you
my
can
goodness.
find it, it's like $300. But
Oh,
I
wow.
modded it with Gun4IR, of course. Yeah, that's the metal one. I'll show you another one that's even crazier.
Awesome. That's so cool. Brad says that you're a gun smuggler. We said, whoa, that looks legit for sure. Oh, nice.
This is
It's
the
so
Beretta.
shiny. It's so.
This is the Beretta Inox. This one is
Oh,
made out of
that's cool.
plastic, so it's a little bit lighter.
Uh-huh.
But it's so well hidden. Like you have a reload button, the trigger, a coin, a start button.
That's built into the. So it's not a button. It looks like it's actually part of the gun.
It has a coin to start, a bottom button for switching to 4 to 3 mode, and the hammer is a D-pad. You can go up, down, left, right with this. Yeah, so I have 3 of these because they're collectible. Oh, and there's another reload, and there's a reload button here. So reload, shoot, extra button, coin, start, D-pad. It's ridiculous. Like
Those are pretty cool. Everybody's like, boom, wow. And Kuma says, bro, you realize the FBA is watching after those real ass guns are flashed onto the live stream. It's okay. We're just we're all playful. It's all hobbyist. Well, all right, what's the next one? That looks more futuristic. What is this?
This is these are what are called AR guns. They're augmented reality guns, and the good thing about these is they're not expensive, but they have a lot of buttons. So this one's got like 5 buttons. I could do reload, coin, start, and then I could do mode buttons here. The trigger's a little clicky. I added a rumble to this one and a fisheye lens. So this will be one I might offer soon, and it has another button here. I can't make analog stick work yet, but the other button works.
Nice. All right, 2 quick questions for you, Ray. I know that you're showing off some really good stuff. A lot of good comments on here. Do these actually work with the Raspberry Pi? I remember testing this with Kyodaikin, and so have you seen anybody do more Gun4IR stuff with Pis?
Yes. Yeah, Kyodaikin's image, Venom, does work with it, but don't quote me on this because there's some configuration work that needs to be done within the emulators itself. And I even sold my my Pi. I think Jim Foster bought it. Yeah, one of my clients bought my Pi. So
got it. Okay, so it does work, but it still needs configuration.
Yes.
And somebody was asking again, roughly how much did both the guns and the pedals cost all up? So earlier in the stream we were talking about it. So the retail cost of these guns, I paid a good one marriage. Exactly. So these guns were $600 each, depending on the cost of it, and these pedals that are here were $400. So I spent a good arm and the leg for these real legit original parts and things, but again, it's up to you in terms of the quality that you want. And Ray does some good stuff, so definitely check out rpegelectronics.com plus his YouTube channel, which is doing a ton of stuff. Thanks, Ray, so much for being here and showing off the goods. Brad D's here. Looks like Clint Eastwood's gun in Dirty Harry, man. Do those have recoil, the ones that you just showed as well?
The Berettas, no, they're too small for recoil, but the there is another one that's made out of plastic that does have a sliding spring action recoil with a motor. So I'm working on that one now. Oh, I want to show one more. The GunCon 2 is an original one from the this is a Japan exclusive as well. Okay, this one has the D-pad, it has the coin start buttons and everything.
Yep.
But what is a little bit special about this is if you guys had an original PlayStation, you'll know a PlayStation 2. You'll know that it had a USB and this RCA connector for the CRT TVs, right? But since we don't use this anymore, I repurposed this and I actually made it so that you can plug in a foot pedal into it.
Nice, extra functionality.
Yep, I remapped the wire so that it actually uses a simple RCA connector to plug in a foot pedal. Yep.
Nice. Is that a Rock Band foot pedal? Is that from something else?
That's a Rock Band foot pedal. Yeah, that's that's a Guitar Hero Rock Band foot pedal.
Yeah.
And, I'll show you my personal one. This is my personal special edition one.
Ooh, fancy! Look at that. Nice, nice. Showing off the goodies. I mean, between Alejandro stuff, Alejandro, does this mean that you want to get some more guns from Ray? Is this making you excited when you see all these new gun possibilities?
Yes. Hey, my wife's watching this, bro. She's gonna be upset with Ray because I don't know if I'm gonna have a pocketbook left.
You keep showing off these goodies. I mean, Rich O'Dello is saying the value of these guns are more than the Arcade1Up, but it's values in the eye of the beholder. And I mean, this is a hobby, and Ray's bringing some high quality things to the light gun game. So if you haven't thought about getting your own light gun build and you want to do a custom build, I highly recommend Ray and the RPEG Electronics team to get your Gun4IR build. If you want to do your own build, do you want to talk about JB really quickly and just Gun4IR itself? Because it's not just Ray that's offering this, but talk a little bit about JB, the GitHub, and there's some folks how you can build your own if you think these prices are just too much for somebody else to do it for you.
So when you pay, you really pay for my labor. You're not paying for the parts. Okay.
Exactly.
Parts, if you really wanted to go on eBay, you can find these parts if you try hard enough. Some of them are rare, but it's really you're paying for the experience that goes into this kind of wiring. I've had customers like send me pictures like, oh, I couldn't. My dad tried to do it. I was like, oh my god, that was traumatizing. Yeah. But yes, JB Jean-Baptiste, he's actually the creator of Gun4IR, and he's all the way in Japan, so it's a little bit more difficult for him to ship things out just with the way the Olympics and the current customs is over there. But if you wanted to, you can go on his GitHub. You can see the instruction guides on how to. All the wiring schematics are there, and if you understand it enough and are skilled with a soldering iron, then yes, you can build your own with an Arduino. It will cost you about to do a basic gun con from scratch if you have none of the tools. I think the estimate was like 80 something bucks, like that, if to do a gun con, a regular one. And then it is fun to build your own. That's what I like doing. I build like a new one every week, like something I haven't done before.
Yeah, very cool. Is there, Kevin was asking, is there a wireless Gun4IR? Is that something that has been done yet?
Yes, there is a Bluetooth one, but according to JB, it was not that stable, and every time you reconnect it, your gun ID changes.
Okay.
Right, so, and you have to have a battery. That's another, like, once you die, you gotta recharge it.
Recharge everything. All right, well, cool. This was awesome talking to you both. I highly appreciate both of you and for coming to the show, showing off your goodies and toys. That's what this show's about. It's just kind of having a good time talking to some arcade nerds. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show too. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for being here. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Yeah.